Fake eyelashes and butch bodies. The Real Housewives meets WrestleMania on Capitol Hill with a little bit of Jerry Springer on the side. Bickering lawmakers lobbing trashy schoolyard insults at one another and completely derailing a very important congressional hearing. The purpose was to hold Attorney General Merrick Garland in contempt of Congress after he refused to hand over an audio recording of President Biden from Special Counsel Robert Hur's classified documents investigation. The big guy is now claiming executive privilege to deny the release, and KJP was dodging like crazy when pressed about their hypocrisy when it comes to transparency.
Why not just release them, especially with this White House's commitment to transparency?
Well, for one, the transcripts, as you all know, is already out there.
But does the White House feel that the recording, the audio, could be politically harmful, since that point was also raised in the letter?
So I don't want to dive into the specific point that you're making about the politics. I would have to refer you to our counsel's office on that. But there were determination that the president took very seriously on behalf of obviously at the request of the Attorney General, and that's how this decision was made.
And that leads us to the congressional catfight heard around the world. The House Oversight Committee on Contempt was full of contempt for each other.
Do you know what we're here for? You know we're here about AG.
I don't think you know what you're here for.
Well, you the one talking about.
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, ain't nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
Order.
I do have a point of order, and I would like to move to take down Ms. Greene's words. That is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you attack the physical appearance of another person?
Are your feelings hurt?
Her words down.
Aw.
Oh, girl, baby girl.
Oh, really?
Don't even play.
Baby girl? I don't think
we are going to
so.
move, and we're going to take your words down.
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
Calm down.
No,
Can you please calm down?
Don't tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all
Please
talk
calm
noise,
down.
and then you
You're
can't
out of
take
control.
Because if I
Look, Chairman,
come
can we
and
send
talk
outside
shit
to take a
about
break
her,
for 5
y'all
minutes?
gonna have a problem.
I have 2 hearing aids. I'm very deaf. I'm not understanding. Everybody's yelling. I'm doing the best I can.
But the congressional cage match didn't end there. AOC is trashing fellow Democrat John Fetterman after he compared the hysterical lawmakers to the Jerry Springer show. And AOC hitting back and saying, quote, "I stand up to bullies." All right, Greg, who's your money on?
I have to say, I just felt sorry for the hapless guy in the middle. I felt like I was watching Outnumbered. You know, when 2 people are yelling and you go, but I grew up with 3 sisters. You can't stop a fight between women, whether it's on planes or the worst place is in bars. You never get, but because it just gets so bad in the halls of Congress, obviously, because the moment a guy steps in and says or does anything, you will they will gang up on you. What did you say? Don't you tell me to calm down. By the way, if you want to upset anybody, tell them to calm down, even if you mean it. And then obviously AOC, how dare you? How dare you? This is from a chick who will not think twice to call you a genocider. This is the thing that, like, normally, I don't like the lack of civility in this stuff. But the reason why the gloves are off now is because one side has decided that politics is now personal. So if you support Israel, you're a genocider. If you support Trump, you're a Nazi. If you're skeptical of lockdowns, you have blood on your hands. And if you're skeptical of obvious climate hokum, that means you want to kill the planet. So they have basically morally condemned people. And I talk about this when people say, why do you make fun of like Stelter's weight or The View's looks? It's because on the ladder of offense, physical attack doesn't come close to calling somebody a racist or a white nationalist. When they go after your moral character, the gloves are off. Make fun of the false eyelashes. Call someone fat. That's nothing like calling somebody a Nazi. So have at it. AOC should be ridiculed because the things she says to people about who they are, that stuff is a smear.
You know,
Harold.
Okay, you know what? Maybe I will go to Harold. Harold, you were in Congress. Did you ever see anything like this? And how would you react to this in Congress?
No, good to be back. Been gone all week, and good to come back to this story. I think it goes to show, to some of the points that Greg just made, just how far the reputation and approval how it's fallen in the United States Congress. We always say, you know, everyone is, regardless of how or what they do, we're all the same, and we are. But you don't want to see this. We know people can hurl personal insults, but I didn't quite see anything like this when I was in the Congress. And I hear what Greg is saying. There's no doubt that some of these people are hypocrites, but everyone's watching this, and we are the model of the world. We are the city on the hill, and Congress is a big part of it. And to see this, you can only imagine this is airing all across the world. And whether you're a Democrat or Republican, we should all be embarrassed by it. You don't need to wonder too far after looking at this why so many congressmen are retiring, because the seriousness of the place has taken a knock.
Dana, as a woman, when AOC comes out and she says, "Oh, baby, oh, girl, don't even play." I mean, she's like the tough girl, AOC.
It's like Mean Girls Take the Hill. Like, it's going to be a new movie coming out this August. Wait till you see it. The thing that was happening is that the Democrats are trying to filibuster because they don't want to have to answer the question as to why Biden is trying to hide this audio tape from being released. Because the transcripts of the interview, those are already public. That's how we know that Robert Hur said he's an elderly man with a poor memory who had trouble answering the questions. So we already have that transcript. The question is on the audio. How bad must that audio be that they are so desperate not to have it out there? Now, having been in the middle of some executive privilege fights myself, I understand that no matter who's in office, they will fight to the death for the executive privilege, and they'll try to make a point. They'll try to drag this out. But I think we can all imagine what is actually in there. What the Democrats are saying is that they don't want to release the audio because they're afraid that the Republicans are going to take it, chop it up, and use it for political purposes. Well, what do you think this is? This is politics. This is what it is. But what did the Democrats demand when Don McGahn, the general counsel for President Trump, was in the White House? Trump's office tried to go to the mat for executive privilege. The Democrats cried foul. It's kind of the same thing, but the difference being this transcript is already out. We already have it. The only question is, are you willing to release the audio? So I would say that the White House is like making more of this than it needs to be, because now we can all just sit back and go, wow, that must be really bad.
You know, Jesse, it was 3.5 months ago that the request came in for this. I think it was February 5th. It took them 3.5 months, though, to say, we're going to use executive privilege. I mean, they just kind of push back, and it's like, oh, let's try executive privilege.
So my congressional sources, Judge, are telling me, I'm not talking about Chad Program, are telling me this is what happened. This was supposed to be an 11 o'clock hearing in the morning. And because of these Republicans went to show solidarity with Donald Trump in New York, it pushed the entire hearing back to 8. So everybody was hangry. And they didn't like that the Republicans pushed their schedule back. So when they got in, there was a lot of anti-Trump talk from the Democrats. And Goldman, at one point, the Democrat, told everybody to get MTG under control. I don't know if you're supposed to tell people to get a woman under control, but that really got under everybody's skin. And then that's against decorum. You're not really supposed to be rude. You would know better than I would. And then that's when the eyelash came out. And then that's when what is it, a bad body Butch?
Butch body.
Butch bad body. What is it again?
Butch body.
Butch body.
Butch body, bleached blonde hair, something like that. I can't hear just as badly as Comer could. And then it went till midnight. That's how bad it went. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to subpoena this audio because they don't believe this wasn't doctored. Because the White House doctors transcripts all of the time. How do we know it wasn't redacted? How do we know it wasn't messed with? And they have authority as a co-equal branch of government to have oversight over the executive branch. Now, what I'm hearing is this. They're doing what's called inherent contempt. It's not like you say contempt, have the DOJ go arrest Merrick Garland, because you know the DOJ is not going to do that. Inherent contempt hasn't been used for 100 years. This would give the authority to Speaker Johnson to tell the sergeant of arms to arrest the Attorney General, and that's going to be voted on next week.
And you know, the amazing part of it is Marjorie Taylor Greene apparently goes after Dan Goldman and says he's advising Juan Merchan, the judge in the Donald Trump case.
No, because she thinks his daughter works for Dan Goldman has employed her daughter, his daughter. Yeah.
Oh, he did. Oh, so we have even more connections with that trial and the Democrats coming up from jail to the first tee. The world's #1 golfer, Scottie Scheffler, is reacting for the first time after he got arrested before the start of a huge tournament.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.